Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to finish edges. This was a user submitted question. I think there are many ways to do this. I'm just going to show you one way or maybe a couple ways, and then you can decide what works best for your project. So once you cut into your leather, you have a raw edge. This is just cut with a rotary blade. Nice flat cut. Having a flat cut is important. Anyone that has finished leather edges before knows it's kind of a compounding system. So if you have a squiggly cut on your leather to begin with, you can't just magically burnish that out. You have to take each step and do that properly so the end result gets you what you want, gets you a nice finished clean edge. So obviously these are on just straight edges. Your project or whatever you're making likely doesn't have just straight edges, straight cuts. So it will take a bit of, I'll say, finesse to figure out when to do this in your process. If you are putting a project together, you sometimes will have to do this before you sew up. You can't just wait till the end and then finish your edges. It's kind of an ongoing process through each step of your production and construction. Like I said earlier, you'll need a nice straight cut or a nice clean cut. You don't want a squiggly line to burnish in paint. You basically will just end up highlighting the mistakes you made, which is, I think, where the frustration begins when you're new to edge finishing. So as part of this, I'm going to do a bad example to show you how it could get. So that way you can see the difference. It's like hard to do that. Okay, so we're gonna treat this the same way we do the other edges, and then we'll see the final result and how different it is. After cutting, you're definitely gonna want to burnish. Bevel. Skipping steps already. You're just taking the corner off of your piece. It's kind of hard to see there, but you can see I took the corner off. There are tons of bevelers out there, lots of options, so I definitely recommend finding the one you like the best. They take different amounts off the corner. They can make different shapes on the corner. But no matter which one you choose, you'll need to keep it sharp. Now time for this wacky one. It's going to be harder to do because of it. You really have to follow the edge. Once you're done that, you are going to burnish. This is a hand burnisher. Works just the same way as a machine does. The machine just basically spins really fast like this and does the same job. And you'll notice the machine only goes the one way, so it's kind of beneficial to do it that way too when you're hand burnishing, putting most of your pressure on one stroke or the other. I've dampened the little cloth and I just kind of go against the edge there, and you can see it darken and get a little damp. You don't want to sop it up with tons of water, but it does need to be damp to help mold the edge. And that's pretty much, this one's already pretty close. So that really just smooths it and flattens all the fibers in one direction, and kind of is a good base for whatever you want to do next. You can do like a clear coat, like a toconol. You can go crazy and sand it and coat it and sand it and coat it and get super glossy edges. For us, from this point, we paint because that's what we like to do. So I left the hand burnished one over there, and then I'll show you how to do it also on the machine, which is pretty simple. I think one thing to note is that if you are putting two pieces together, you know, glue and sew, then you're going to want to, no matter how well you put them together, there's usually a little tiny bit of a lip there. You're going to want to sand first, and then you'll bevel, and then you'll burnish. Let's actually go do that, because that just makes sense to show you. So that's just sewn on there. This is a great example of what happens when you don't glue your leather together and you just sew. You get that terrible lip. So if you can, I would cut that a little bit better before you sand it. If you're doing a project where you just can't do that, this might be a place to take the stitches out and then redo maybe a panel and then sew back through your lines. But we're going to do an experiment and see how we can fix this. You can see I had to go back and cut it because it was just too much. This is the piece sanded. So now we'll need to bevel it. So now we'll have the single layer and double layer example, and then the wacky one. So here they are burnished. Some people will just leave their edges at this point. And that's up to you. And now we're going to paint the edges and then watch some paint dry. You could use edge dyes. There's so many different paints out there. I really recommend getting like the smallest they have of different brands and see how you like them. There's like primers you can put on as like a base coat. There's then there's the product, and then there's also like a gloss finish you can get on top. It really just depends on what you're looking for. We use a matte finish and have tried a handful of paints to get to the place where we really like the results. And that's all part of the design process. So for us now, we use a lot of paint, so we work directly with the manufacturer to get ours. The ones we've tried in the past are Uniters and Vernus. I feel like there's another one that we tried as well. We always put them in a smaller container because we use a paint pen to roll on the paint. These are just, these are from Etsy. These aren't anything special. I do want to say that these can be a little bit hit or miss. Sometimes the ball bearings aren't as strong, and you need like a nice roll for them to work. Some people use things like an awl or a needle to go across the edge of the leather to paint. I've seen sponge brushes. Sponge brush application, which I think requires multiple layers. And that's the thing, like you can apply the paint, sand it lightly, apply the paint, and then get the result that you want, like 2 or 3 coats should be plenty. Some colors are a little thinner than others, some just take a little bit more work. I think like black overall is generally across the board pretty easy to start with and get the result you want, so maybe start there and then move on to a different color. The brighter colors, in my opinion, definitely take a little more work to get them to the place you want them. Full disclosure, if you decide to paint your edges, you'll be watching paint dry a lot. And then for something like this, if I was painting all the edges, I would go about it, paint it, and then I use a little block and rest it on there so it can dry, and I can do more of the panel than if I just was laying it down flat on the table. They're also fun to build with. I forgot to paint the hand burnish one, so I'll do that now. If you are at the place where you're using the bigger liters of edge paint and working directly with the manufacturer, the benefits of that is obviously you get more paint at once, so it's a little bit cheaper per ounce. You can get a color edge match or a custom color made, and you can also work on like getting the viscosity right. So if you like to apply really thin edges or if you like really thick edges, you can work with them on that and then ask them all the questions on what the options are. So if you're at a place where you're beginning production at that scale, that might be a good option for you. Okay, so this is dried. Here is the sewn edge. So if you're happy with that, you can keep it, you can sand it, you can reapply paint, you can do all sorts of things. So that's that one. And then single edge. Raw, painted. Silly edge. You can see I missed. You can see getting a nice clean cut is the first and most important step, because otherwise you're trying to polish something you can't polish. And then this is the hand burnished edge. You can see there's not really any difference. It's just a little more effort. So raw and painted. You can see it makes a pretty big difference. And if you're doing your whole project this way, it would make a huge difference on the end result. Like I said at the start, there are a lot of different ways to finish your edges. This is just one way to do it because someone asked us how we do it. Hopefully that was helpful and a good place to start if you're new to leatherwork, or maybe some inspiration to start painting your edges.